I ignored my destiny once. I cannot do that again. Even for you. I'm the only one who knows that. At least I'm the only one with the will to act on it.
The Mad Titan Podcast with your host, Jay Washington.
What's happening, everybody? I am here. Welcome to the inaugural edition of the Mad Titan Podcast with me, your resident supervillain, Mr. Jay Washington. I know this introduction sounds a whole lot different. For many people, it sounds a hell of a lot weird because there are some things missing. There is someone missing. So allow me to address it right off the gate, all right? Thank you to everyone who's come over here, who listened to the Trusty Psychic Podcast with myself and Bobby Hill. I appreciate it very much. If you had not heard, the podcast dissolved due to a lot of, I'll say, creative differences. There were some things we wanted to do, things we didn't, and we didn't agree on some things, and so therefore we went our separate ways. So I still will be doing the same version of what I was giving you guys before. I will be doing the same thing and getting you caught up on everything in the Marvel and DC live action and cinematic universes. I've got a lot of great guests coming along, a lot of co-hosts and things of the sort. It's going to be a transition, if you will, but I just need y'all to rock with me all the way through with this, y'all. It's a big step in a big direction. Sometimes it's a little bit hard, it's a little bit nerve-wracking going a new way on your own, especially when you've been doing something for so long. But I know the people have been asking and constantly wanting, and so I've been trying to wait till the moment to give it to you guys, getting things together, getting things set up, dealing with some own personal issues, but nonetheless, I am here, and we are going to do it, all right? We normally do a recap of what's happening in the week, man. Shout out to everybody. You should be getting this a couple of days after my birthday. My birthday was August 25th. I kicked it hard. Thank you to everyone who wished me birthday wishes through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, text message, phone call. It was so many, and I wish I could legitimately respond to each and every one of you all because you all made me feel like a real superhero as opposed to a villain. I appreciate the shit out of that, straight up. So thank you for that. For those who've been buying the pictures, and for those who don't know, I like to recreate a lot of my favorite heroes and characters. And so I've been selling off the artwork. You too can grab some of that. I'll tell you about that at the end of the episode. By the way, this probably won't be a super long episode, okay? I just want to get it out there, get the feet wet into it. I want you guys to feel it. I'm going to try to talk the same way I would. I'm not going to try to. I'm going to talk the same way I would beforehand on Trusty Sidekick, but this time it's going to be me. Like I said, I got a lot of people coming on the next couple of episodes. I will be doing an episode live from the Big Pine Comedy Festival. I'll tell y'all about that shit later. But let's kick it off right now. Disney has officially announced the name of its new streaming service, all right? The name of, everybody knows Disney's about to start their own basic Netflix. It is going to be called Disney Play. Now, if you ain't listening to it, that sound like they are really trying to attract that younger demographic, which I understand. That's what Disney's predicated on. They're also going to be developing a lot of shows based on their existing properties. So they're going to be developing a high school musical type show, Star Wars, Monsters, Inc., things like that, okay? One of the biggest things, this is the company's biggest priority going into 2019, by the way. But one of the biggest things is that Disney will not actively try to take away television rights from existing deals made by the company, and Fox pre-2019 MCU and Star Wars films will not hit the service for the time being. So here's what's getting ready to happen. You're going to have to buy Disney Play, Netflix, Hulu, potentially the DC Universe, to get everything you want at home. And will it be cheaper than cutting the cord from cable? Only time will tell. Depends on what type of level package you get with Hulu, what type of level package you get. Well, pretty much Netflix is the same thing, but whatever the level package is with DC Universe and Disney Play. I think a lot of people are worried if the stuff that's on Netflix, namely the Marvel series, from what it was told, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, all of those are safe, if you will, staying on Netflix. So you don't have to worry about that too much. I don't think there's going to be a major transition with those. Anything going forward, That is remaining to be seen, especially with the Fox properties now. What are they going to do? Does Gifted go from being potentially on Hulu straight to Disney Play after that contract is up or whatever the case may be? It's going to be real interesting. It's going to be real, hit and miss, touch and go, if you will, with that. Speaking of another big Disney news, if you haven't heard over the weekend, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, it's officially been put on hold in the wake of the James Gunn firing. Now, I don't think this is even smart. I don't think this should have never happened, for the first and foremost. I don't think we should even be discussing it, but since it is a thing that is affecting a franchise and a whole universe in a sense, let's talk about it. Now, Marvel Studios has officially put the third installment on hold in the wake of James Gunn's firing, and Disney saying they're not going to back down. They're not going to rehire him, which upset damn near everybody. Kevin Feige's pissed. The cast is pissed. The fans are pissed. I really think it's dumb. But the studio decided to delay production on the third installment until they figure out their next move. Basically, this is figuring out a director, quite frankly. Now, apparently, the crew members that have been assembled in Atlanta to begin pre-production are dismissed, and they were free to look for other work, which means they could be potentially looking at a quite lengthy delay. And no official release date for Volume 3 had been announced. We all know originally it was supposed to come out 2020. On the heels of everything else that happens, being Captain Marvel, Avengers 4, Spider-Man Far From Home. And then this was going to start with Disney and Marvel, shall I say, dropping 4 movies a year. But who knows what's going to happen with that. Now, it's reported that Taika Waititi, who directed Thor Ragnarok, has been taking meetings with Marvel, but it's on an unclear and undisclosed project, so we don't know. Many people are hoping that Taika is going to take up the reins, and Taika will become that director to take over for Guardians, given the fact that Thor Ragnarok had that exact feel. It looked the same pretty much. I don't know, man. I'm at odds with this. Like, at this point, are you just going to shut down production of that film? Because you're going to have the cast who contractually has to work on it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The cast has to do what the cast is contracted to do. They're going to do that. But you're not going to get that same energy. You're not going to get that same feel or flair with Guardians that you would with James Gunn. Guardians of the Galaxy wouldn't be Guardians of the Galaxy without James Gunn. Of course, there was a lot of controversy saying if they weren't going to use the script. Dave Bautista, who has been extremely vocal about it, was like he was out, but Disney said that they will use Gunn's script. I just don't get the whole thing. Now, we all know why he was dismissed, all right? Rape jokes he tweeted back in, I believe, 2008 and 2012, right? These are old jokes. He already apologized for said jokes, but now we move forward, and the reason being, as everyone knows, and let's just keep it 100, is the Roseanne firing for her tweets being racist as shit in that moment. James Gunn's biggest issue was not the fact that he tweeted what he tweeted back in the day. His biggest problem was the fact that he did not delete his tweets. I'm just going to keep it 100% honest with you. James Gunn is, like I said, he's apologized in 2015 about these. So this ain't shit new. This is nothing new. This is people literally just reaching and trying to say, oh, well, you fired one person for this, you should fire the next for that. If that man has already addressed it, apologize, why are we not moving forward? Disney, Marvel knew who they hired. The man directed Tromeo and Juliet. He worked for Troma. He had that real dark sense of humor. And I know, I get it. Y'all are going to be like, yo, rape, pedophilia, all those things are nothing to joke about. I get this to the fullest. I'm with you 150%. But also, if you watch South Park on a regular, you have no way and right to criticize or condemn. If you are an avid South Park watcher, you should not speak on that, because that's what they do all day, every day on that show. It is nothing different than those jokes happen weekly. And yes, I get what you're going to say. Jay, that's Viacom, Comedy Central. We're talking about Disney. I get that. But also never forget Disney had Miramax at one point, which made Pulp Fiction. Disney has the shows that are on ABC, so on and so forth. So you can bring up one, you got to bring up the other, and please let us never forget Walt Disney himself's racist past. So let's just put that out there. Nonetheless, I do wish the fact that jobs are being affected more than anything else opposed to the film. I hope that people are able to bounce back from this shit and get their jobs, because that is a hard thing when you work in entertainment. But, que sera, sera, man. If y'all don't know what that means, that's whatever will be, will be. I guess. I guess. In other Marvel news, Ant-Man and the Wasp has shot to the top of the international box office. They busted it open. Busted it open. Yo, what is this, 94? Busted it open. Wow. First of all, busted it ain't even a word. They busted open. Why did I say busted it? I have no clue. Whatever. They busted open with a $68 million debut in China. That is always a dope number. Now, they are total for $540 million worldwide. Ant-Man and the Wasp, a lot of people were saying in their critiques, not the critics, people who went to see the film, were like, oh, it wasn't that good, it wasn't all this hype, that and blah, blah, blah. And I really believe that was only because people were coming straight off of Infinity War and was expecting something else from Ant-Man. And I'm like, yo, what are you expecting for a film that has been just a placeholder, for a lack of better words? It's not trying to dismiss the film at all. I'm not trying to dismiss it. I'm not trying to shit on it. It's just Ant-Man and the Wasp has its place. Ant-Man and the Wasp has never been one of these major blockbuster films that you gotta run and go see, and you have to bring everybody, and the anticipation is so much. It's a setup film. It's a placeholder film. So let's not do that. I mean, the fact it's at $540 million worldwide is dope. Avengers, I believe, cracked $2 billion. I know Black Panther still is raking in money. Shouts out, matter of fact, I forgot to bring this up. Shouts out to Disney and Marvel for not settling for the new most popular category for the Oscars, and are officially trying to give Black Panther a run for Best Picture of the Year. I know a lot of people out there listening. People have said, yo, it has no shot of winning. This is potentially true. I'll agree. It does not have a shot of winning. However, to have Black Panther, first and foremost, a film with a 98% African-American, predominantly African-American cast, or just say, I'm not going to say African-American, black cast, because many of them are not African-American. A 98% black cast to be a comic book film, no one had to pass away. This is no disrespect to Heath Ledger, but granted, he won his Oscar posthumously, and he would not have gotten it had he not passed. Let's just keep that real. For Black Panther to be put up there to potentially be nominated is a big thing within itself. Comic book movies are nominated every single year. They are nominated for the technical, the sound awards, visual effects, things of the sorts, costume, but they never get the nomination for the big six. That is picture, director, actor, actress, supporting actor, supporting actress. They never get nominated for those. So if Black Panther can go and get nominated, there are 10 slots that go for the awards, for the Oscars. Every year they be on bullshit and throw 9 when there can be another film you can throw in there. So if they can throw it in the top 10, that'll be a dope thing to see. If not, I do not want them relegating Black Panther to just say, yo, it's the most popular film. Y'all take this award and be happy. Because that is not how you're going to do that. We also know, I hadn't had a chance to discuss this in podcast form. I think I talked about it with various people on various podcasts and networks and stuff like that. That the most popular thing, okay, let me break this all down to you, plain and simple. Disney owns the Oscars, if I'm not mistaken. Disney owns ABC that airs the Oscars. Disney pitched the most popular category to the Oscars. What Disney wanted to do was to give themselves a guaranteed Oscar, because every single year for the past almost 10 years, if not more, Disney has had the most popular movie of the year. Whether it be live action, animation, sci-fi, Disney has had the most popular film. So they want to keep it in that range where they can get themselves an Oscar. But Black Panther has been a cultural phenomenon. Many people initially, when this film initially was announced, I think we had discussed it back in the day on Trusty Sidekick. People thought that shit wasn't going to do more than $75 million. And then the tracking number jumped up to 125. And then the critic reviews first came out, which I was happy to be part of. That shit came out and it was like 175. And then when it debuted and kicked down the door with 220, people were like, how the fuck was that possible? And then Black Panther did something no film I can think of recently had done, especially not a comic book movie, stayed in the top 10 in the box office for 13 weeks. 13 weeks in the top 10. It didn't have to stay number one. It was still making money. And the fact that movie still continued to make money in many box offices after it had been released on both digital download and Blu-ray. Come on now. Yes, it's a popular film, but yes, it is also a cultural phenomenon, and we have to pay attention and acknowledge that, all right? Let's go forward with my last bit of Marvel news that I believe I have. Some promo artwork for the upcoming Captain Marvel movie has found its way online, all right? Now, it's via a couple of characters and tie-in character notebooks, and it shows Carol Danvers, who Brie Larson is playing, as the Protector. The dope part about it is that we might actually really see what the costume looks like in the colors. Because remember when stuff dropped online with the promo with these like grayish, silver, and green, which we all had to let people know, yo, that's the Kree elements to Marvel, so please stop losing your mind about it. This one shows you more almost an updated comic book accurate description, so hopefully that is what it is. Hey, are y'all happy about that? Are we cool? Can we go from that? I'm just saying. Real quick, I did have one more thing I want to talk about. Ethan Hawke. I don't know if you know who Ethan Hawke is. Ethan Hawke is an actor. He's been in a lot of good movies. He kind of just found himself shitting on superhero movies. He had a controversial take specifically mentioning James Mangold's Logan. And he said he believes it is an overpraised example of the genre, superhero genre. And it's not just a good movie, which is really some BS. You know, I hate when people try to say, oh, it's just a superhero film. It can never be more than that, when that is totally not the case. It can be more than that. He went and said he saw it, and he was like, oh, this is good for a superhero movie. But this is exactly what he said. I'm going to give you the quote, okay? Now we have the problem to tell us Logan is a great movie. Well, it's a great superhero movie. It involves people in tights with metal coming out of their hands. It's not Bresson, it's not Bergman, but the way they talk about it like it is. I went to see Logan because everyone was like, this is a great movie. And I was like, really? No, this is a fine superhero movie. There's a difference, but big business doesn't think there's a difference. Big business wants you to think that this is a great film because they want to make money off of it, which goes back to my point about that most popular picture. Now, granted, Logan is a Fox film, but it's a Marvel property. First and foremost, there was nobody in tights in Logan. That shows you how asinine that whole statement is. Wasn't nobody in no fucking tights. This was a Western style film, a noir film too, if you get the noir version, a Western film that just so happened to have a superhero element. It was an old man reaching his final steps in life, finding out he had a daughter and other things. But yeah, there were mutant abilities involved because it's Logan, but the whole story didn't look as such, if that makes sense. Yes, you see the part with the New Mutants, the kids. Yes, you see things with X-23, but the tonality of the film, and for Ethan Hawke to say something like that, that is very dense. That is very dense. But we also had James Cameron who talked about superhero films. Like, yo, I get it. You pissed because some people don't give a shit about your movies, so you want to just shit on comic book films. There are a lot of people out there who are not just diehard comic book lovers or nerds like myself, many of you are listening. There are people who just want to see dope-ass films. There's an action element to it. There's a story element that comes, it's different than what we're always given. So let people enjoy it. Don't try to shit on it because, first of all, probably you can't get an audition to do any of the goddamn roles because that's more than likely what it sounds like. Chill that shit the fuck out, man. That it just annoyed me when I saw that. It just really, really did annoy me. I mean, I don't want to be pissed off about it, but it is what it is. In some DC news, Aquaman has had a few test screenings, and it's said to be okay. Like, it's good. It's not great. It's okay. Which, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. But it's like, what were we expecting? One Twitter user, Christopher Mark, said, I hear it's good, not great, and that's all we can hope for in the end. I'll take it. But then another user, Casey Walsh, said, Aquaman is a Phase 1 MCU film through and through. So if you like those, you'll love it. If you didn't, you probably won't get much enjoyment out of Aquaman. Woo-wee. I wonder. I really, really wonder. Like, I don't expect Aquaman to be this major game-changing film. I don't. So I don't want anybody ever thinking, yo, Jake think that Aquaman gonna change the DCEU, or I don't think it's gonna tank it. For the record, I do not think Aquaman is gonna tank the DCEU. I think it is a film. It is almost an origin story per se that is set up that's coming out kind of late, giving off everything that's happened with Justice League, but it is what it is with Warner Brothers, right? It is what it is. So I'm not gonna too much comment on that. I just hope it's a decent film. I just really hope it's a decent film. I mean, I can't be mad about it at all. So, I mean, speaking of DC movies that I don't understand is happening, because a lot of people are split on this, the Joker movie has tapped Sicario, Day of the Soldado, composer Hildur Wanda. The dude that did the score from the second Sicario movie, he doing the score for the Joker film. I don't know if you wanted me to try to pronounce that shit and go crazy, because I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it, okay? Now, it does. Here's the thing about the Joker film. The cast has been kind of like, yo, they really going out for this. It stars Joaquin Phoenix. It also got Zazie Beetz, Francis Conroy, Mark Maron, and Robert De Niro. Like, this is kind of nice. It's an origin film, so we don't know exactly what the story is. Are they going to go killing joke route? Who knows? But I'm willing and interested to see about this myself. I mean, I'm for it. Now, there's a rumor about the Supergirl movie. Yes, Supergirl movie is coming out. The rumor is that Warner Brothers may be eyeing the Handmaid's Tale director Reed Morano to helm the film. Now, this is a rumor, but she's their first choice. This is just a rumor, but they've yet to reach out to her. Now, they've been saying they want a female director with this. Now, no release date has been set, but Ord Uziel, who wrote the Cloverfield Paradox, is set to write the script for the movie. If you've seen Cloverfield Paradox, you should be terrified for the fact that he's writing Supergirl. Cloverfield Paradox was horrible. It was fucking awful. It was nothing we should have had. However, we shall see what happens with that. All right, I think that's about all I got for DC movie news. I got a little bit of TV news, literally just a little bit. Oliver Queen, there's a season 7 poster of Arrow came out, and Oliver Queen looks a hell of a lot beat up. Like, we've seen in the teaser trailer him, taking a lot of lumps in prison for the fact that he does not want to retaliate, even though he can. But this one is kind of damn dope. So Stephen Amell himself, he released the artwork over social media, along with a clever caption that read, "This fall, green is the new black." And the poster's official tagline reads, "Revelation and Repentance." Now, this is from the CW themselves. There's been no shortage of close calls for Oliver Queen when it comes to protecting his superhero identity. But in the season 6 finale, he was finally backed into a corner and forced to reveal himself to the world as the Green Arrow. Now, Oliver will come face to face with many of the criminals he has placed behind bars as he makes a new home for himself at Slabside Maximum Security Prison. Oliver will find himself vulnerable in a way like ever before, when a mysterious new enemy begins to unravel his work as the Green Arrow, challenging him to redeem his name or risk losing everything. I'm excited about this. I'm really interested. They say season 7 is going to be well more action-packed. It pushed the limits of the TV ratings that they were allowed to do on the CW. We do have the new showrunner in Beth Schwartz. This is going to be so dope. Arrow does debut on a new night, Monday, October 15th, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. I'm pretty much ready to see what happens with this. And also staying in the DC TV realm, The Flash has cast America's Got Talent Season 5 contestant Troy James as the villain Ragdoll. Now, if you don't know who Troy James is, he is the man who was a a contortionist, and he was able to put himself in a lot of twists and turns. It's fucking crazy. But he's going to be playing Peter Merkel, a.k.a. Ragdoll. Now, we first learned that Ragdoll is going to have a presence in Season 5 when the character breakdown for the villain surface, but now CW has officially cast him. This dude can twist and turn and bend himself in many, many places. So this is going to be kind of unique to see what happens. And I think that's about all the news I have for right now. It's kind of slow. Things are going to start building up again within the next couple of weeks because we're getting ready to start having the shows come back, with it being September, all of the season premieres, even debuts and whatnot. So stay tuned here, man. Thank you guys for rocking with me with this first edition of the Mad Titan podcast. I'm going to be honest, it is going to be hard. It is going to be a bit difficult. I will have, like I said, a lot of guests on here. It is going to be a challenge without having Bobby alongside. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to act brand new about it. It's definitely going to be that. But I am hoping to make it through this challenge. I'm hoping you all will make it through with me and ride with me and support and be alongside all the way if you can, all right? Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington. It's MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAY Washington80. And join the Supervillain Squad, man. Supervillain Squad is available on Patreon, patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. I'm putting up a bunch of interviews. I just lost a flash drive that I'm trying to find to get more of these interviews back up on there, but I'm going to have them for you guys. Please join it. It's only $5, all right? Make sure you check out the website, madtitancast.com. I will be setting up the Twitter and Instagram for those as well. It's been fun. First episode. Hope you guys love it. Like I said, you'll tell you guys some other extra news. Excuse me. I'm a little tongue-tied, just a little bit nervous doing this. The Big Pine Comedy Festival is coming to Flagstaff, Arizona, September 18th through the 20th. I will be there. On the 18th, I will be recording a special live episode of the Mad Titan Podcast. So I would love you guys to be there if you are in Arizona with me as well, okay? I will also, September 6th through 8th, I will be in Salt Lake City, Utah at FanX Salt Lake Comic Convention. Please come out, check me out there, all right? I'll holler at you guys later. Take care. I'm out of here. Peace.